Hey guys, welcome back to Shadowverse, and let me start this video off by saying that with a disclaimer that I had already recorded fully the gameplay for the Dark Emperor / Wrath Blood a day before. This is actually about 2 days after launch now. And while I think the content of that video was good, the audio quality sucked, and I really didn't want to publish it. So I am re-recording this, which is going to be why I'm disclaiming it, because I already know kind of how I want to build this deck. I kind of already know what I'm going to recommend later. So my reactions aren't going to be exactly 100% genuine. That being said, it's still a powerful deck. If you guys watch my launch polls, I had underestimated Dark Emperor quite a bit, I'm finding. He's really good. I do think that it's still problematic that he competes with the slot with Omniface Archdemon, but I'll get to that in the later part of the video. So let me explain this real quick for beginners. Wrath Blood is the act of damaging yourself during your turn. It is a blood relatively exclusive mechanic with cards like Rouge Vampire that says deal 1 damage to your leader, Scrappy Werewolf, same mechanic, so on and so forth. The ultimate goal of Blood early game is to get to 7 times pinging yourself as fast as possible, and with cards like Dark Contract, that is now possible even as early as turn 4. Because when you get to that point, you get additional effects such as Knight of Purgatory, invocating or rather coming into play from your deck, which is a really good tempo play. In addition, it also enables Omniface's Archdemon's win condition. So if you have Wrath activated 3 times, you clear the board, deal damage directly to the enemy leader, and restore defense to yourself as well. A lot of cards in Wrath operate with that kind of benefit, that as soon as you have Wrath, you get rewarded by these positive effects. Anyway, with that quick explanation out of the way, let's take the trial deck for a spin first, and then come back with my recommendations later. Alright, first up we're up against Forest. Likely Fairy Forest, although Logica might still be a thing, which is going to be Combo Forest. Because we are playing the trial deck, we do want either our earliest game stuff or either one of the legendaries, because we are fairly limited on the legendaries, right? So probably don't need Devilish Diva. I'm going to keep this because it is an early Wrath activator, and this is honestly too good to not include currently. I'm kind of rethinking this. I know I want to keep the Sanguine Necklace. I'm going to keep that. See where we go. Okay, we have some early clear, but that doesn't really matter for Forest because they kind of want their board cleared anyway, so they can refill with new stuff. If it's Fairy Forest, I don't know what forest we're facing here. Also, spoiler alert, the final list will not have Corrupting Bloodlust. I do think it kind of hurts you. And there's better cards. It's not a bad card, to say the least. It's just that they are better cards, you know? The fact that we do that is kind of a bummer. It's fine.
Hey, let's play. Hey, let's play.
Alright. Get the draw here. I wish we had drawn this first, but we'll play this instead.
A precious life deserves more jewels, more.
So the way that this turn is probably going to play out is we're going to play... well, he might play all the fairies here and then just go straight for face.
Hey, let's play.
Oh, he trades. Good. I was actually worried that he wouldn't trade because it makes this play a whole lot worse. But now we can just do it. So next turn, assuming he plays a follower here, Devilish Diva does activate, and he does. So we will have Wrath on our turn 5. And we recover some life as well here, which is good.
Let the immorality tour begin.
And we get the invocation here for Knight of Purgatory.
Let your inner Give in to your desire.
And we're still in a pretty good spot. The only way that could have been better is if we had Urias. But since there's only one copy in the trial deck, that's not entirely consistent. So it is Fairy. Oh, he plays Sekka. Okay. You probably already win this. Because for Fairy, it's either you have Arya or you don't. That is the fatal weakness of that deck. It really can't operate really well without Arya. Now, you can win without Arya for sure, but it's hard.
I'll see you in purgatory.
Since Wrath is already active for us, I think we can actually play the Hazan here. Because it has a really, really big body. And the fact that he didn't play the Arya means that either he'll have to sacrifice yet another Sekka play versus this, which we just get the Evo for free anyway, so.
To desire transformation is
I am but one.
Then we play the Rogue Vampire here.
if you would destroy the god.
Allow me to bestow a crimson kiss.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. That's 11 toughness that he has to deal with, which is good. And if this is unanswered, it has Drain, so he can't not answer it either. So, how many pairs does he have in hand? Okay, that's fine.
Delightful.
No pain here. So he uses yet another Sekka. Does he have already 8 that he got rid of? Okay, he's close, but he'll have to sacrifice this in the process. It's only 7. Oh, never mind, it was
You
8.
can bring change.
Huh. Thought I saw 7. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. He sacrificed all of his evil points to get to that point, which is fine. We'll probably do Devil Shiva, Rogue Vampire, and then Trampling Terror. Right. So we'll do this.
Let the immorality tour begin.
Do this. We recover the life. This will just deal 4 straight. And then we just play Rogue Vampire
Allow me
here.
to bestow a crimson
Give in to your
kiss.
desire.
Deal some direct damage. I'm actually going to evolve this. That way he has even harder time getting rid of it. Because primarily because we don't need the evo points already either.
My blade longs for the passionate beat of your heart.
And is he already at 10 for a second? He is at 8, so he doesn't get the... Or am I reading the wrong? Yeah, I am reading the wrong. Followers coming to play just 10, so we're fine.
May the forest be at peace.
Alright.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I evolved there, because our cards in hand didn't really need any more evo points. So that's particularly why. And if we had any of our legendaries there, guys, that game would have been over by turn 6. Because we would have had Urias, we would have a lot more punch. But as you can see, the trial deck already has a lot of the core already in there, which is a good thing for beginners. That's why I think, and again, this is because I recorded the other 2 videos already, that's why I think that this blood deck is the best pickup of the 3 trial decks. But even though it's the best pickup, even though the core's already in there, there's still a bunch of improvements it can do. So let's head back to the deck list. Alright guys, so we're back, and this is the upgraded deck list from the trial deck that you just saw being played. I will briefly explain the changes that I made, and potential substitutes in case you're short on vials. But honestly, this deck is relatively on the cheap side to upgrade, at least comparatively to the other two trial decks. But let me explain. So, originally, we had 1 Dark Emperor, 1 Urias, 1 Bloodsucker of Night, and what was the other legendary? 1 Omniface Archdemon, right? Of those, the most important thing is going to be the Urias. He is a must 3 of. He, on your Evo turn, there is very little better play in this deck other than evolving Urias. the Horrible Knight play is super important because it just puts the power, the offensive power of the deck over the top. It makes this deck from a okay deck to literally a tier 1, maybe even a tier 0 deck. It really depends on who you're talking to. He's a must to be 3 of. Your first 7,000 vials should go to this. The second one is a little bit more debatable. It's between Omnifaced Archdemon and Bloodsucker of the Night in terms of getting your next 3 set of. Totally up to your preference. If you were asking me which one I would pick, it would be Bloodsucker of the Night. Because getting that early game Wrath effect off is more important. And also, once you do have Wrath, she does function as storm damage. Even though it's only technically 2 storm damage, it's still 2. More importantly, those Force Bats have Drain and have Bane. So they can contest any big board that you might potentially run against. She's very good. And finally, there's this understated effect where if you're at 10 play points, meaning 10 total play points, you can cast her and then you get a Dark Feast Bat in return, which is a old but still effective card, assuming you can get that off. You will rarely get that off, if ever, but it is there as an option. So, should a game run that long, maybe you're playing in the Mirror, maybe you're playing in the, whatchamacallit, just a really grindy game against Haven, then Dark Feast Bat might actually end the game for you. That's why I recommend her slightly over Omnifaced Archdemon. Next is a 3 of Omnifaced Archdemon, absolutely. I think he's still more important than Dark Emperor, although they're both quite important. But this serves as one of your finishers. Dark Emperor is your other finisher, for different reasons. Dark Emperor is a defensive finisher because he is nigh unanswerable once he hits the board. Honestly, it took me playing against this deck that I realized, oh my god, he's actually so hard to answer. So, defensively, he will likely survive after the turn he's played. Offensively, this just kills the board for you. So, really depends on who you want to go for as far as finishers are concerned. If it were me, I would be prioritizing Archdemon. Finally, as far as other changes, I got rid of the Wolves. Absolutely not a good card. And I got rid of the Bloodlust in exchange for Razory Claw. Razory Claw is, I think, a much better burn damage option, just in case you need to get that last 3 damage in. Absolutely. Apart from that, some ratios that I modified. You could argue that you could run 3 Dark Contract rather than 2. I chose to run 2 because I'd rather have a follower on board rather than a spell, and this is technically a tempo loss. That's why I chose to run 2 Dark Contracts rather than 3. But totally up to you. You could definitely run 3. Other changes. Some people online are now talking about potentially adding Ramya. And let me show you where Ramya is. Hold on. Ramya to the deck in case you run against the Mirror. And that makes sense because Ramya will, or Ranya, is it Ranya? 2-drop. Hold on. Am I tripping right now in terms of neutral legendary? Yeah, Ramiel. Sorry. A lot of people are saying to run Ramiel because of this Evo point clause when you're going second against the Mirror, which means that you reach your turn 7 faster, which means that you get to play your Dark Emperor first. More importantly, you can also play into your Dark Feast Bat potentially to end the game, because Blood versus Blood decks tend to kind of ping-pong their life totals so much. For me, I don't quite subscribe to that thought yet, but I can see the logic. The only problem is for beginners, that's still yet another investment, because if you're running Romuel, you have to run over 3 of, there's no in-between. And that's 10,500 vials, and she's also rotating out. So that's kind of why I'm not as jubilant as to recommend her. Anyway, that's the list. Let me go to a rank match here real quick for this deck, and we'll see how it does. Alright, so this is the modified deck. Going up against
You
Dragon.
dare to defy
Probably
the
going to be
shadows?
buff Dragon here.
Shall
Going
we
second.
cross swords?
This is definitely a keep. This is definitely a keep. I'm kind of tempted to hard go for Urias here, rather than play the Jeweled Axe Devil. She's only really, really good going first rather than second. But it's honestly Dragon, and this kind of punishes the Oracle play. If it wasn't Dragon, I would not be playing this. But since it's Dragon, I'm gonna keep it. Nah. The one Knight of Purgatory that we had in our deck, I didn't mention this in the deck construction, but I actually downed her to 1 because I didn't want to draw her. Now that we drew her, we have no, we don't have whatchamacallit, any rotation in the deck anymore because she's the only copy. Does she play Oracle? No. Nataran. Okay. Interesting.
Melt under its touch.
A precious life deserves more
Alright.
jewels.
An unanswered Jeweled Axe Devil is actually pretty dang rough if she remains unanswered here. Dragon does have an answer. Yeah, this. Rush into here. But I can play another one, so... Oh wow, you don't answer it. You crazy, crazy man. Yeah. That's a mistake. That is very much a mistake.
Deserves a precious diamond.
Do we have Wrath already? Wrath already is active next turn. And I think after we play the Rogue Vampire, we get double whatchamacallit. Recovery. Yes. Okay. Urias is our best play. Always the best play. No matter what, evolve him as soon as you get the chance to.
Come, show me the limits of your will. So, we'll do this the hard way.
Alright.
Lose
Discard
yourself in
everything
this
here.
final dance.
Which is totally fine. And the reason why I didn't play the Rogue Vampire is because I wanted to play the Nightmare Begins right now. That way we get our draw next up.
More jewels, more. Raise the price.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't answer the first Jeweled Axe Devil. I think that was a bad play, for sure. Like, Wrath has so many get rid of this, or targeted spell effects that deal 3 or more damage that I wouldn't risk it. That might have cost him the game, to be honest. Because, see, imagine if he didn't do it, I wouldn't be at 18, I would be at 15. So, is it 15? Yeah, yeah, restore 4 defense. I would have been in 15 if he didn't get rid of it. That is -1/-1. Yeah, it doesn't get rid of it. Again! if you let this live, why do you let this live?
That was almost amusing.
Okay, whatever. Sure, let's see. 1 damage to all enemy followers. 1 damage to the leader. I do have to trade here, unfortunately, but that's fine, I think. Whenever an enemy follower is destroyed, deal 1 damage to the enemy leader. Deal 1 damage to the leader and 3 damage to random enemy follower. Yeah, I have to do it.
Ready yourself.
A precious life deserves a precious life.
Here, and evolve this. Because we have 3 evil points, we might as well
One
use it.
with the darkness.
I only delivered more jewels, more.
Yep.
Raise the price.
So we're in a pretty good spot already here.
Devour.
Forte might be a problem later. Not gonna lie. Evolves
Embrace your
there.
demise.
We more than likely get an answer there.
I
We
take
have to
so
draw
much
pretty
for
badly
that.
here to miss 3 draws that don't answer this. Urias is perfect answer, yeah.
Come, show me the limits of your will. Return to the void.
I believe we
from
don't
whence you
discard
came.
the second time
Lose
we activate the
yourself in
Horrible
this
Knight.
final dance.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. And then we just play this.
Check out
Go
my
for
fins,
face.
but get ready to fly. What?
Good. Gets the ward, but then we have Dark Emperor next turn, so... And again, that'll be next to impossible for him to get rid of. Because it doesn't even die to Forte's last words. I'm actually thinking of trading in the Urias. That way we get the full 7-9. Because it is really that hard to answer Dark Emperor, normally. Oh, I'm forced to anyway, never mind. I can Demon Nest here, I suppose? Nah, but we'll Dark Emperor here.
Let the darkness embrace you.
No reason not to evolve here. Yeah, because everything we have is either evolving it by itself or rush.
We'll do this the hard way.
Time to dance for your. Get ready to fly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a strong deck. Anything that's board based is absolutely just gets wrecked. Right now by Dragon because it's that good.
My wings.
Or by blood. Not wrecked by Dragon, by blood. It's that good. Yeah, Forte doesn't affect this because it cannot be destroyed by effects. It's ridiculous how good this card is. I definitely underestimated it. I'm sorry, guys. Sure. I believe the right play here is to Devilish Diva.
Let the immorality toward
And that
you.
kills
Give
him.
in to your desire. Have I failed?
Honestly, had I traded with any one of those, he would have been dead already because of the leader effect. But yeah,
Light.
Urias,
has
Dark
no
Emperor,
place
really
here.
good. really good. Okay, that's the deck, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Some final thoughts. As far as the legendary vial count from the upgrade, so we're talking about so you get one for free, so you invest 2, 4, 6, 8 legendaries, and if you go for the Ramiel, then you go from 8 to 11. The core of the deck is definitely just those 8. Assuming that you get those 8, that is 3,500 times 8, that's roughly 27,000, give or take, somewhere around that range. And you have practically every other card already, and you have a top tier deck. 27,000 vials, 20,000 vials, something around there for a top tier deck is definitely worth it. So I highly recommend that you pick this up. It is one of the top 2 decks right now as of the recording of this video, and I cannot imagine it really. Hopefully I'm not cursing myself here that it won't be at least tier 2. So for beginners, you will absolutely rock with this deck. If you can make the 27,000 investment, you'll make it to Grandmaster probably. At least Master in no time. Finally, again, prioritization. Urias first, then either Bloodsucker Knight or Omniface Archdemon, then finally the Dark Emperor as a playset. Ramia is, when you get to a point where you have vials to spare, then maybe craft Ramia. But again, she is rotating out, so be careful when you craft her, okay? That's it for this video, guys. The forest video, I have already recorded, but I am re-recording that video because I hate that audio. And hopefully this turns out better. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below. Like, subscribe if you like this content, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.